Listen to me, bro. This comeback has to be personal. This comeback has to mean everything to you. Even if it means cutting some friends off, hell, cutting some family off, this comeback has to mean all or nothing. So many times have you started and stopped. So many times have you taken that chance and given it to the next man because you thought you weren't worthy. But what makes them any better than you? What makes them any more worthy of the success you know you truly deserve? Nothing. And it's been like that all along. You have 6 months left to the end of the year. How bad you want to change your life? Show me. Nah, don't talk no more. It's time to show me how bad you want to change your fucking life. It's time for you to fucking win. Get up off the floor, and I will see your ass at the top.
Nobody's gonna help you. It is you, yourself, who needs to go through the pain, who needs to go through the training, who is the one who needs to motivate yourself, find your own purpose in why am I doing this. There is nobody else out there helping you to achieve what you are setting on the mind.
I must do what others will not do in order to be champion. So, when they're having their Christmas dinner, when they are enjoying their one day off, if they take one day off, when they're taking that one day off on their birthdays, I'm in the gym. Because I've got you, Mr. Opponent. I have you on my mind. And I've got to do the things that you will not do. And that's how I beat you.
You ought to talk about your life as if you're trying to get investors for it, because the human mind needs a story to buy into something. And I'm not just talking about other people believing in you. I'm talking about you believing in you, because you don't experience life in the intellectual plan. You experience the feeling and emotions of the day-to-day. And you might not even know that the story you're living out is in your hands, but it is. It doesn't matter what the day-to-day looks like. You can build whatever story around that you want. So you might as well make it a good one, because you're gonna fall for it either way.
Consistency, because it don't happen overnight, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really frustrating, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really inspiring and empowering. And if you get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, you're gonna take yourself on a ride that's very, very uncomfortable. I think it's just about being committed to the work, appreciating it, when it's good, and not stressing too bad when it's bad, just appreciating the work and staying focused on showing up every day.
If you don't realize that potential inside of yourself, what you can and what you can't, other people will tell you. Other people will put you in that category where they think you would be useful for. Yeah, but this is not what I think is the intention and the purpose of you living this life.
Let them laugh at you, my boy. Let them doubt, let them make fun of you. Because you and I both know ain't shit gonna be funny in a year's time when you have this all figured out. When they're all lining up one by one asking how you did it, there ain't nothing funny about you trying, about giving this shit a shot. But I'll tell you what is funny, the fact that you doubt yourself. The fact that you think it isn't possible, and there ain't a damn thing on this earth that you can't do, that you can't achieve. So stop letting people like them that don't even have the balls to give this shot, stop letting them tear you down. If you don't let them know your dreams, then they can't shoot them down. Put your head down, get to work, and fuck everybody else. You got this shit, bro. I believe in you.
This life is not here to give you pleasantness at all times. You're not being born into this world and just walk through this lifetime like it would be Disneyland. This is not happening. What you are facing, what every human being at some level is facing, is difficulties. No difficulties, no growth. So what is the how again about this approach? It is to really embedding and trying to integrate it into your life. There will come hard times. I won't give up. But because I keep this consistency and I keep this trust, something about me starts to elevate. Something about me starts to grow. I'm starting to transform. But by accepting that pain and suffering to some extent is part of this existence.
What you made look easy was harder than they'll ever know. They will see your progress. They will see your success. They will not see your suffering. They will not see your pain. What looks easy was harder than they'll ever know. It took your everything, and you were willing to give it all. Knowing this is your fuel. Knowing this is your eventual fulfillment.
The only thing you need to do right now is keep going. Keep going and trust that things are about to come together in a shocking way. A shocking way. I bet you're waiting. I bet you're waiting to feel happier. You're waiting to feel motivated. You're waiting for the storm to pass before you can step outside of it. You're waiting for the sadness to lift before you make the plans that would actually make you feel a little better. And I'm telling you, that's not how life works. You don't wait for healing and then live your life. You force yourself to live, and that's how you heal. Do it while you don't feel good. Do it sad. Do it anxious. Do it uncertain. Because it's the experience of doing it that makes you feel better. I'm going to do this because I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting for the day that's not coming, and that's the irony. The day that you're waiting for starts today when you take action. If you have been waiting to feel better to start living your life, you will be waiting forever. Go live your life starting today.
Faith, not fear. Fear worries, faith prepares. Fear hesitates, faith moves. Fear weakens, faith strengthens. Have faith, it will all work out. Work like it never will.
No matter how big your dreams, you're gonna die. Everyone will move on. Do what you want. It sucks to not be liked, but it sucks more to not be yourself.
People will cringe, and then they'll be jealous. People will criticize, and then they'll ask how you did it. People will judge, and then they'll shower you with praise. People will laugh at you for trying, and then hate themselves for not.
There is nothing more powerful in this world than an individual that can heal their own wounds. You know what makes that individual so special? Is they've had so many conversations with themselves. What happens is we're in a society now, we have this person, we hear that person. It drowns out the most important voice, because that voice only speaks to you in a whisper, and that's your own voice. When do you stop trusting yourself? When do you stop believing in yourself?
Finish what you start, because you said you would. There's nothing that comes out of quitting, because the harder it gets, the closer you are. You owe it to yourself, because it isn't about what you do, it's about who you are.
At the end of the day, there's one person that can truly make a decision and do things for you, and it's yourself, and you have no choice but to make those decisions. As uncomfortable as they are and scary as they are, you have to do these things and make those decisions that are tough.
It doesn't matter if you feel overwhelmed. Like, it doesn't matter if you're frustrated. It doesn't matter if you're mad. It doesn't matter if you're bitter. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. It doesn't matter. Those things do not matter. It doesn't matter if your friends don't believe in you. It doesn't matter if your parents don't believe in you. These things do not matter. How you feel does not matter in the equation of building a life, okay? What you do matters, and that is it. So if you say, I want to go out and I want to do these big things, but the work is overwhelming, then you have to go out, you have to decide what it's going to take to get to where you want to go. You break it down from where you want to go backwards to where you are, and you make a plan that you execute on every day. And if you get yourself in a position where you can adhere to a plan, what the can you not achieve? And the answer is, you can achieve anything. There's nothing that can stop you.
The hard part of life is when you don't have the time to do this anymore, and you didn't achieve everything you wanted to do. And you look back on your life knowing there were pockets throughout your existence where you could have applied yourself. Now all that's left
is you in a self-arrest, self-corral state, thinking, wow, I could have been great. Wow, I could have done something with my life.
The goal isn't to escape your life on the weekends. It's to build a life that you don't need a vacation from. Stop numbing your burnout with distractions. If your life feels like a prison, it's not self-care you need, it's self-respect. Audit your circle. Fix your habits. Peace isn't found in quiet. It's built in the chaos when your life finally makes sense.
Grit. You need it when the chips are down, and it all comes from the mind. I'm struggling here. I need to do something to get myself out of this problem. And that's where you get grit. You think, well, I'm going to do it. The mind tells me I'm going to do it. The body is weak, the body is tired, but the grit will get me through it.
You have to lose your fear of failure. Failure is part of the process. People who never fail never try. You have to fail. You got to get it wrong to get it right. You learn nothing from winning. You only learn from your failure.
Why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how much you can learn? Why not see how many skills you can develop? Why not see what kind of person you can become? Why not see what kind of influence you can have?
End of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you gonna be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
Want to ask you a question? What are your fears? What are you scared of? Something that's blocking us, that's holding us back. Some people call fear false evidence appearing real.
You will face pain on this way. Accept the pain. Smile at the pain. Embrace the pain. Zbogam. Pain is the gatekeeper of destiny. Pain is there to ask you one simple question. Do you really want to achieve your goals, or are you just a talker?
Purpose. No one can create your purpose for you. No one can tell you who to be. So in purpose, you have to create your own purpose. And in evolution, you have to evolve towards that purpose. It's easier to live when you have goals to meet. You understand?
Identify with what you love, and once you love it, hone in on that thing until you can master it to the point where people can identify that there's no questioning your love for it.
There's no replacement for persistence, as simplistic as that is. If you want to master something, I think that's the thing most people don't do. They read a little bit, they listen a little bit, they dip in and out. They don't go day and night, night and day in total immersion in something that transforms them, and also something that makes them push through their fears. Because in the end, that's the only thing that stops you. Everybody's got a story. I didn't know this person. I don't have the resources. They have all the things they don't have. But if you're resourceful, you can get the money, you can get the time, you can get the energy, you can get anything you want.
Times that we should proceed with caution. But it's the difference between being stopped by fear. It's the difference between having a fear and the fear having you.
The biggest regret of the dying is never becoming your ideal self. I want to leave this earth becoming who I know deep within I am supposed to be.
Sometimes you gotta stop focusing and thinking about what could have happened or what should have happened, and you gotta live in what is happening and focus on surviving it, because the quicker you can survive it, the quicker you can use it, the quicker you can extract the lesson from it, the quicker you can glean perspective from it. And for all of us, we're gonna encounter those defining moments in our lives, right, to where it's gonna hurt.
All you have to do is decide not to quit. Because within of every one of us is the ability and the DNA to overcome and to win. And when we win, we never know when it's going to happen, but it comes. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but the day is coming. And it's not about every dog having this day. It's the fact that you don't allow the day to dog you. You get up and you go after it, you believe and you fight through it, and no matter what it is that you're going through, the suffering will come to an end. And you will learn in the suffering that it created pressure, and when the pressure comes, it'll bust the pipe and the dams of life will come open, and that's why you end up in the flow of life that allows you to win. But you gotta believe that the suffering has a purpose, and so do you.
It's a good feeling to lose. The people who follow you are going to lose too. You've got to set an example of how to lose. This way, they can see how I lose. Muhammad Ali. No matter what in life, when we are trying to accomplish something great, when you are stepping outside of your comfort zone, when you are throwing yourself fully into something, fully down a path, fully into 100% invested in any endeavor, any high-level endeavor, any meaningful endeavor in life, you're going to encounter setbacks, and you will most assuredly lose at some point. You will collect scars, both physical, external, and internal scars, but the scars remind you of why you started and what you are trying to accomplish. And most importantly, the scars show them, your onlookers, the great crowd of witnesses that you will have on any endeavor, any platform that you gain in life by trying to accomplish something great. You show them that you are still there.
You see, faith is that thing that even if it's small, even if it's the size of a mustard seed, can move a mountain. Faith is that thing that you can hold on to when nothing else is there. Faith is having the vision and the belief that this will come to pass, because the dream that you have been living and you've been having, that you've been since the day you were born, was ingrained in you by God so that you can trust Him with everything you've gone through so that you can fulfill your dream.
What would your life be like as you look toward the future if you decided, I'm not going to allow my fears to stop me? What would your life be like? What would your future be like if you decided to want that which you desire so strongly that it prepares you past your fears? That you experience the fear, as the one book says, feel the fear and do it anyway.
You see, that's the wonderful thing about faith. Faith is the thing that will sustain you when everything else fails.
No matter what you face, no matter how bad it is going to be, when there is a challenge, and by a challenge I mean anything in life, any challenge, anything that you're facing, the only way to overcome the challenges that you face is to start walking. Take that step every day, no matter what you are facing.
Why do you do this thing every single day, and what does it mean to you? I want you to ask yourself those two questions every single day. When you get tired, when you're not feeling it, when you don't value it, when you take it for granted, every single day, why do I do this, and what does it mean to you? Because if you say you do it for a certain reason, and it means something to you, every single day you'll come out, and you'll never cheat it, and you'll cherish every single aspect of it for the ability to become great.
How do you feel about yourself when you're by yourself? I know a lot of people that fear that quiet.
I know a lot of people that don't want to be alone with themselves. And the reason they don't want to be alone with themselves is because they don't think they're worthwhile. They're not happy with who they are. If you're not happy with who you are, then let's step into the ownership of that. Let's remember that's our fault. There's no one else to blame for that. The people that did horrible things to you are not to blame for that. In fact, don't even worry about the word blame. You're in control. That's what this is about. It's about retaining control. It's about knowing that you own your life. And at any time, if you want a different outcome, you can make different decisions. You can do different things. You can start a new narrative. And once you begin that new narrative, you realize the power that's in that to take you where you want to go.
Faith is the thing that makes you want to persevere. Faith is the thing that makes you want to pursue excellence. Faith is the thing that gave you a reason to have a work ethic. Faith is the thing that made you realize you could believe in yourself, that you needed discipline, and that you could also believe that the vision given to you is something that you could bring to pass. This is how you succeed.
Scars tell a story, and the scars are a physical representation of the chapters and pages and chapters and verse of the life that you have lived, and more specifically, the endeavors that you have thrown yourself fully into. Being galvanized by the fires of pain and loss and suffering and setbacks, being fashioned by the fears that you have overcome, the tears that you have cried, and the virtual uncertainty that you have thrown yourself into.
Nietzsche said, if you know the why for doing, you can endure almost anyhow. What do you mean by that? If you know why you're doing something, when the hard times come, and they're going to come, when the disappointments and the rejections come, and they're going to come by the truckloads, your reasons will be your rod and staff to comfort you, to pick you up. Once again, I got a saying on one of my tapes: if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Let your reasons get you back up.
When no one's around, when no one's looking at you, when no one's cheering, and it's just you and your shadow. Who are you? How do you hold yourself? How do you see yourself? What do you do when no one's watching?
When it gets heavy, don't wait to be carried. Carry the weight. It's in these moments of heavy weight that your character is revealed. When everyone else around you is tired, you be the one. You go first. Pick them up, carry the weight. Be the example.
There's a huge difference between fear and doubt. Fear is something that is necessary. Fear is what you must face. Doubt is about you. Everything that you doubt, you've created. Nobody else creates doubt. Fear is about pressure, and pressure is a privilege. If you're put under a pressure situation, that means somebody believes in you.
Anyone can be impressive for a season. Anybody can show up early for a little bit. Well, let me tell you, the people that I respect the most are the ones that just keep showing up in tired seasons, in overlooked seasons, in depressed seasons, in divorced seasons, in discouraged and misunderstood seasons, and they pick somebody else again season. And so I am not impressed with talents, I am impressed with consistency. Somebody that just keeps showing up without a lot of spotlight.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special.
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. My coach used to always say, everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
If you can barely decide to take any action at all and peel your eyes away from your phone for just a moment, it's so much easier to beat everyone else, because in a world where it's never been easier to do nothing, doing something becomes extraordinary.
I just gotta tell you, you've got to chase that dream before you die. You should go and live your dream. Just go see. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life, he tucks it away in your imagination. It's never gonna be easy. You're always gonna feel like you're up. You're always gonna feel like you're behind. You're always gonna feel like, maybe I'm not any good at this. But dude, if you keep showing up and you keep executing and you keep doing what you're supposed to do, the results will sprout and you will gain a little bit more confidence. But dude, even when you gain more confidence, you'll be at a new level. And when you're at a new level, guess what happens? All the same as again. You doubt, you question, you're insecure, you push harder, you go to the next level. Just a repetitive cycle, dude. It's a hard life. It doesn't mean you're up.
Brother, if you want to move on from a failure, you have to forgive the version of you that didn't know any better. And if you did know better, then you need to forgive the version of you that was too broken to care. See, either way, it starts and ends with you. Knowing that, what's your excuse now?
I sacrifice everything what I have. I will sleep, train, eat, repeat, and that's it.
Obsession?
Yeah. I think it's not about DNA. I think more than blood, I think it's about mental, your brain, how you think about this. How there is like, you want this or no? There is not like 50-50. It's like, okay, I want this and I want other. You cannot, there is like not between. You have to be in somewhere.
It's black and white.
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest things to hear after you don't get your way is keep working. But it's also one of the only solutions to be successful. You're not going to get your way most of the time in your life. Just keep working. Hard work pays off, no one tells you when. You'll never know the true feeling of accomplishment if you never faced a setback. You'll never know the true meaning of confidence if you never had to bounce back from anything. Just keep working. You're not getting what you want, keep working. You are getting what you want, keep working. One thing's for sure, overthinking's overrated.
For every time you set your alarm and then sleep in, someone else is obeying it. For every time you say you should go to the gym but then don't, someone else is breathing heavy. For every dish that you should wash but instead let pile up in the sink and become a headache for later, someone else isn't compelled by the same laziness. I know this because that someone else is me. Every decision you make is an opportunity to build respect for yourself. And every opportunity that you pass up on is just another piece of evidence that you are not the person you say you want to be.
We let our feelings dictate what we do. And we have to do the opposite if you want to change. You have to lead with the actions that align with the way you want to feel after you've done the actions. You have to take action first, because if you allow your feelings of, I'm tired, I don't feel like it, it's hopeless, why bother? That feeling will dictate you doing nothing. And that's going to keep you on the right side of that page. If you just look at that list that you created of all the things that you know you should be doing that would just uptick your happiness slightly or make you slightly healthier, slightly this or slightly that, then act like the person on the left-hand side of the page. And then every time you take that action, your feelings will fall in line and you'll start to feel more like that person.
For you to constantly win,
When this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the body. Go. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. And it's true. People don't hear that. That's a true voice. That's the real reality of David Goggins at 24 years old. It's not a false reality. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. And you're in the freezing cold water that both voices don't want to be. But you went and goes from the water to the study, to the running, to losing weight, to how you eat, to how you function as a man. Every day of your life, you're winning these battles.
You have a choice. You can go for it. Or you can just watch it go by. But I'll tell you this. Failure only exists in the heart that doesn't try. Don't be the person that lives but never feels alive. Be the person that knows the sky isn't the limit because they wasn't afraid to fly. You might not be in control of how you die, but I promise you, you're in control of how you live.
There's 3 decisions you're making every moment of your life. You're making it right now. Everyone's listening is making these 3 decisions. You might be making them unconsciously, so then your life is driven by the environment. First decision is, what are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on what you have or what's missing? And if you're focused on what's missing, that can make you grow. But if that's what you focus on continuously and you add one more pattern, it'll create frustration, anger, sadness, or even depression. And the second pattern is, which one of these do you more? Do you focus more on what you control or can't control? If you go in a pattern of focusing on what you can't control and what's missing, distress inside of you is always going to be there. Because think about it. There's plenty of things that aren't missing, and there's plenty of things you can control. But when you're focused on what I can't do and what's missing from my life, there's an emptiness. Now, here's the third one. Do you tend to focus more, and we do all 3, but more on the past, the present, or the future? If you're focused on what I can control, what I already have that's beautiful in my life, and what's happening right now that's beautiful, or what I'm going to create, you're not going to have that level of stress. You'll still have problems, but you're not going to have the anger or the sadness or the overwhelm.
It's never too late. If you're alive, you can get better. If you're alive right now, you can improve your condition. You can improve your situation, and it starts with improving the way you think. That's the most important thing. The way you think of things, the way you think of things, the way you address things, you've got to change that.
There's a place in your heart where your dreams live and your intuition thrives. So hold on to your dreams tight and realize, I know it sucks, but realize that you might have to move in some silence for a while. And that's the most courageous thing that you can do, because you're choosing to listen to that deepest part of you rather than the noise and the doubt of people that you thought that you trusted.
Most people don't change. They live the same 6 months of their lives 100 times in a row, and then they die. They go to the same places, they make the same jokes, they tell the same stories, they work the same job, and then they die. And it's all because they were never willing to be uncomfortable, because they were never willing to change. And a lot of people get really uncomfortable when I talk about this, but most people are average. The average person stays stuck in the same patterns. And so if you want to have a different outcome, you have to walk a different path.
So you have a goal, a vision, and for whatever reason you can't bring yourself to do the things that you need to do in order to get there. And it's not like the things that you need to be doing are difficult in any way or are a mystery, you know? Like, everyone knows what to do. So it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of will. Where do you find the will? Evidently, it's not going to be motivation, because motivation doesn't trump laziness. So what needs to change? How do we find the will? Many of us are too focused on everything that's going on out here, external factors, right? And when the physical world doesn't reflect what we want in our minds, it leaves us frustrated and confused and exhausted and discouraged, and a whole bunch of other things that no one wants to feel. Whereas what needs to happen is we need to embody the person that we want to become. On the inside, we need to adopt their mindset. We need to adopt their mental framework. We need to replicate their behaviors. And naturally, the physical realm will kind of just reflect that.
Your family and friends may not get it right now, and that's all right. They're gonna ask questions, they're gonna make fun of you, and that is okay, because you're gonna make them understand. You're gonna make them understand by going out and getting the result you want. They're gonna understand real quick when you have the body they want, the bank account they want, the car they want, the house they want, the family they want, the life they want. It's gonna go from why are you doing that to how did you do that? You can try to convince them all you want, you can talk to them until you're blue in the face, but the fact is, the only thing that's really gonna convince them that what you're doing is right is when you get the result. Nothing you can say to these people, no amount of convincing is gonna speak louder than you having an undeniable stack of evidence that shows exactly why you're doing what you're doing.
You forgot who the f you are, bro. You got so caught up in other people's opinions and the way the world looks at you that you forgot what got you here in the first place. Forget everybody else, bro. Forget the crowd, forget the clubs, forget whatever it is. You have nobody to prove anything to except yourself. You don't have as much time as you think, bro. Before you go, let me show you something. You see this guy? Remember what he said? Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, bro. Keep moving forward.
Never complain, never explain. And what it means is, don't complain about life. Don't explain what you're doing or why you're doing it, just do it. By whining and complaining, all you're doing is making people think bad things about you, looking weak. And when you complain a lot, you have a mindset where everything is kind of a potential complaint. You stop whining and stop explaining yourself and just do things in the world and let your actions speak for themselves.
I think whenever we're going through a hard time, we just want it to end. But it's those moments that allow us to appreciate the good ones.
Do it sad, do it angry, do it heartbroken, do it miserable, do it excited, do it energized, do it happy, do it tired, do it confident, do it discouraged. Do it anyway. However you gotta get it done, make sure it gets done. That's what separates the winners from the losers. That's what separates those that get what they want from those that only talk about what they want. So whatever you gotta do, get it done.
The only thing standing between you and the life you want is committing to the process longer than anyone else is willing to. You don't need every answer. You just need the discipline to face what's in front of you. Day after day, hour after hour. Will it feel impossible at times? Absolutely. But it's in those moments where you rise above your doubts that you begin to create something special. This isn't about being ready. It's about being relentless. You got this.
The universe only gives us what we think we're worthy of receiving. So then people who show up for themselves every day, they start feeling pretty damn worthy. Like, hey, they're like, I'm worthy for it. It's not like an entitlement way, like it's something, oh, they just like, I feel like it's gonna happen. I'm worthy for it.
You're not ready for what you want until you believe you can get it. All things are possible if you believe.
And you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key. It's like people still, they sit around going, when's it gonna come? When's it gonna come? When's it gonna come? When's it gonna come? And that's the wrong way. I have to go, it's here, it's here, it's here.
And you really get this. Your future, for the most part, is not consciously created, it's unconsciously remembered. Because you're actually being informed by something that you're still hurt by. And as a result of not accepting where you've been, you're gonna have a concern for where you're going.
And I will show you how I'm doing. So for me, it burns. And I will not stop until I run. So I do these things. I always had this saying, why be normal when you can be the best? So when I do my things, I don't want to be normal. For me, normal, it doesn't exist. I want to make the difference. And when you make the difference, you are being the best. So for me, it's a challenge. So in reality, I'm fighting against myself, not against the others, because I want to be the best version of myself and take me myself to limits
and try myself. That's the purpose, and not be compared with other ones, because I don't compare myself with nobody.
If you had to do it all over again, would you make the same choices?
What choice? We can't run from who we are. Our destiny chooses us.
Look at all the guilt which burdens you so. What do you blame yourself for?
I ran away. I hurt all of those people.
Accept the reality that these things happened, but do not let them cloud and poison your energy. If you are to be a positive influence on the world, you need to forgive yourself.
The shapes are always changing. Changing is their normal state, like us. Even if we're not changing on the outside, we're changing on the inside constantly. There's some stuff about me that I've been ignoring for a long time. I'm afraid of that stuff, but it's part of who I am. As long as I know the shape of my soul, I'll be all right.
You seem quieter than usual tonight.
Every year I come here, I wonder if it should be the last time. If I should put the past behind me, try to lead a normal life.
Santayana says that those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it.
He also said a fanatic is someone who redoubles his efforts while losing sight of his goal.
Sonny and my father always said that when I get older I would understand. Well, I finally did. I learned something from these two men. I learned to give love and get love unconditionally. You just have to accept people for what they are. And I learned the greatest gift of all. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And the choices that you make will shape your life forever.
And I know you think you gotta be perfect to keep the people you love in your life, but that's not true. Family don't run from mistakes. And we don't judge people by their flaws. We just love people for who they are. But it is up to you to trust people with the real you.
The truth is, for all my struggles to make my mark in life, for all I've accomplished, in just a few short generations, my name will be forgotten. Even the greatest of us can't compete with time and death.
Then why do you go on? Why does anyone? Why don't I just destroy you and everything else right now?
If you do that, you won't see the end of it.
The end of what? The evolutionary process.
My purpose, if you will, is to see where it's all going. And you'll live forever.
You'll be able to see it all. Is that my purpose? Simply to be a witness?
We create our own purpose in life. Now go create yours.
It's difficult to understand the sum of a person's life. Some people would tell you it's measured by the ones left behind. Some believe it can be measured in faith. Some say by love. Other folks say life has no meaning at all. Me, I believe that you measure yourself by the people who measure themselves by you.
A king may move a man. A father may claim a son. That man can also move himself. And only then does that man truly begin his own game. Remember that howsoever you are played, by whom, your soul is in your keeping alone. Even though those who presume to play you be kings or men of power.
When you stand before God, you cannot say, "But I was told by others to do thus," or that virtue was not convenient at the time. This will not suffice. Remember that.
Maybe I'm in the wrong line of work.
Maybe I should take on something less challenging.
You do what you are, Jesse.
You mean you are what you do?
No, I mean, you do what you are. You're born with a gift. If not that, then you get good at something along the way. And what you're good at, you don't take for granted. You don't betray it.
What if you do betray your gift?
And you betray yourself. That's a sad thing.
This one's pretty.
Not according to the book. If you go by the checklist, this one's perfect.
But I like how mine's a little off-center. It's got wabi-sabi.
You can't win an argument by making up words.
Wabi-sabi is an Eastern tradition, Dad. It's celebrating the beauty in what's flawed. Like the crack in the Liberty Bell, or the mole on Cindy Crawford's face.
The Liberty Bell is great, but come on, if it was in a contest with a bunch of bells without cracks, it would lose.
But sometimes it's the small imperfections that make you love something even more. So what if this rose is a little too short, a little too wide? It's got more personality than those other ones.
Life is a storm, my young friend. You will bask in the sunlight one moment, be shadowed on the rocks the next. What makes you a man is what you do when that storm comes. You must look into that storm and shout as you did in Rome. Do your worst, for I will do mine. Then the fates will know you as we know you.
Rise, young warrior. You must get up. Your journey is not over.
I can't fight him. He has all my weapons. I have nothing.
When you began your journey, you were determined. Nothing could stop you. And now that you are so close, are you willing to give up so easily?
It was easier at the beginning.
Beginnings are often easier. But think of all that you have accomplished along your journey. What you have learned from your battles with the bear, the snake, the monkey.
What's the point of fighting my way up the mountain when someone else is just going to come up the easy way?
There is always going to be someone who does things the easy way. But that should not stop you from doing things the right way. It is your journey, young warrior. Only you decide when it ends.
No one who dares to raise their hand against a comrade ever dies a decent death. Remember that.
Well, that means our fates are sealed. Seems you and I are depraved and worthless.
Not true. We're both human, not fish. No matter who you are, you do not truly know what kind of man you've become until you reach the very end. One realizes one's true nature at the moment of death.
No one answered when I knocked.
The door to destiny is always open if you are brave enough to walk through it.
You're stronger than your father.
You didn't know my father.
Have I not the rage that drives you? That impossible anger strangling the grief until the memory of your loved one is just poison in your veins. And one day you catch yourself wishing the person you loved had never existed. So you'd be spared your pain.
Justify your virtues. Because a strong man who has known power all his life, he loses respect for that power. But a weak man knows the value of strength and knows compassion.
Whatever happens tomorrow, you must promise me one thing. That you will stay who you are. Not a perfect soldier, but a good man. The world breaks everyone, Travis. The very good, the very gentle, the very brave. And those it doesn't break, it kills them. There's no shame in being a broken man. I should know.
You just pick up the pieces and start rebuilding. How did you find peace? I took away your parents. Everything. I scarred you for life.
See, that's the thing, Shen. Scars heal. You gotta let go of that stuff from the past, because it just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you choose to be now.
There are two kinds of sufferers in this world. Those who suffer from a lack of life, and those who suffer from an overabundance of life. I've always found myself in the second category. The realm of the real spirit, the true artist, the saint, the philosopher, is rarely achieved. Why so few? Why is world history and evolution not stories of progress, rather this endless and futile addition of zeros? So what are these barriers that keep people from reaching anywhere near their real potential? The answer to that can be found in another question, and that's this. Which is the most universal human characteristic? Fear or laziness?
I'll tell you a secret. Something they don't teach you in your temple. The gods envy us. They envy us because we're mortal. Because any moment might be our last. Everything's more beautiful because we're doomed. We will never be here again.
Oh, you know what I want to mess around with? The belief that I matter, you know? Regardless of what I do or don't achieve. Or the belief that we all deserve to be loved. Whether we've been hurt, or maybe we've hurt somebody else. Or what about the belief of hope? Yeah, that's what I want to mess with. Believing that things can get better, that I can get better, that we will get better. Oh man, to believe in yourself, to believe in one another, man, that's fundamental to being alive. And look, yo, hey, if you can do that, if each of you can truly do that, can't nobody rip that apart.
Earth is the element of substance. The people of the Earth Kingdom are diverse and strong. They are persistent and enduring. Water is the element of change. The people of the Water Tribe are capable of adapting to many things. They have a deep sense of community and love that holds them together through anything. Fire is the element of power. The people of the Fire Nation have desire and will, and the energy and drive to achieve what they want. Air is the element of freedom. The air nomads detached themselves from worldly concerns and found peace and freedom.
Why are you telling me these things?
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.
I'm done being scared.
Who said I'm not scared?
But you took on a croc.
And I was scared doing it. If you ain't scared of a croc biting you on the face, you ain't alive. Listen, kid, you can't get rid of fear. It's like Mother Nature. You can't beat her or outrun her. But you can get through it. You can find out what you're made of.
When you lose your money, you lose nothing. When you lose your health, you lose something. When you lose your character, you lose everything. Remember that.
Darkness is a powerful ally if you know how to befriend it. You will not break the rock tonight, or tomorrow, or the next day, or perhaps ever.
You said to break the rock.
I said to try to break the rock. And look what happened to you, to your family. The whole world knows. Now you want to stop that from happening to anyone else. But evil is as eternal as this rock. Even if you break the rock, there will be pebbles. Break the pebbles, there will be sand. And evil remains. You cannot change that, no matter how much you train. Except what you cannot change. It is not your burden to bear. Life is meant to be lived with others. It is too hard to do it alone.
For what it's worth, it's never too late, or
In my case, too early. To be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Start whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you never felt before. I hope you live a life you're proud of. If you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start it all over again.
The way I see it, if something makes you sad when it ends, it must have been pretty wonderful when it was happening. Truth be told, I've always felt it a bit lazy to just think of the world as sad, because so much of it is. Because everything ends, everything dies.
Look out there. Out there is the perfect lap. No mistakes. Every gear change, every corner. Perfect. You see it?
I think so.
Most people can't. Most people don't even know it's out there, but it is. It's there.
Now, do you see our tree? Everything that made that giant tree is already contained inside this tiny little seed. All it needs is some time, a little bit of sunshine and rain, and voila!
This rock will be a tree.
Seed to tree, you've got to work with me here, all right? Okay. You might not feel like you can do much now, but that's just because, well, you're not a tree yet. You just have to give yourself some time. You're still a seed.
I know we've had some difficult times lately. We've had to struggle just to get by. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. There is a simple honor in poverty.
There's no honor for me without the Avatar.
Zukor. Even if you did capture the Avatar, I'm not so sure it would solve our problems. Not now.
And there is no hope at all.
No, Zuko. You must never give in to despair. Allow yourself to slip down that road and you surrender to your lowest instincts. In the darkest times, hope is something you give yourself. That is the meaning of inner strength.
To get anything of value, you have to sacrifice. Do you know that the harder thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing? Nothing that has meaning is easy. Easy doesn't enter into grown-up life.
Granddad, what do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do?
You do what you can.
Just do good things and good things will happen to you, mate. So how do I do it? How do I turn my dreams into reality? What's the first thing anyone does before they start their day? You wake up.
You're gonna die never even trying to reach your full potential.
Be honest with yourself. You don't want it as bad as you say you do. If you really wanted it, you'd work for it. Not the glamorous, sexy work that everyone posts about, but the boring work, the work that no one sees, the work that no one else wants to do. That's the differentiator. No crowds, no motivation, no applause. Just you, the work, and the truth.
6 months down, 6 months left. Remember those big plans, those goals that were gonna change everything? That version of yourself that you swore you were gonna become? Where is all that now? It's still sitting in your notes app from New Year's Day while you've been sitting around coasting for 6 months. Making the same mistakes, making the same excuses, justifying your actions the way you've always done. Still living the exact life that you swore on January 1st that you were done with. Time doesn't care about what you're going to do. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't pause while you figure your shit out. Whether you do what you said you were going to do or you don't, time keeps moving. And you don't need to wait for another January 1st to change who you are. You don't need to wait until Monday or a new month or a new year. Every single day matters equally because every single day has the power to change your life. The question is only, what are you doing now?
One day at a time. Live one day at a time. Just don't worry about what might happen tomorrow. Don't worry about what may happen a year from now or 6 months from now. Just do the very best you can right now. There's a beautiful line from Teddy Roosevelt. He said, do what you can where you are with what you have and don't worry about the rest. Do what you can where you are with what you have and don't worry about the rest.
Your life is yours. Own it, protect it. Don't hand it over to fear or expectations of others. Don't let the fire go out. Don't settle for quiet despair. There are paths forward even if you can't see them yet. There is light out there, and even the smallest light is stronger than the deepest darkness. Opportunities will come, maybe not wrapped in perfection, maybe not obvious at first. But they're there. See them, take them, run with them. You can't outrun death, but you can live fully and fiercely, so death has to wait its turn.
Genuinely believe that I can do anything. I'm not surprised that I'm still here.
That positive shit for a second, homie. Go prove them wrong. Every single person that doubted you, go prove them all wrong. Your old friends, family, people that used to make fun of you for trying, they counted you out, bro. Make them wish they never spoke. Their words were never strong enough to stop you. The only person capable of doing that is you. Prove them all wrong, but in the end, prove yourself right. See you at the top, dog.
Most people lose because they think they're better than their effort. They confuse potential with progress, talk big, and train small. But you don't get to call yourself great if you can't back it up daily. You don't get to post the vision without paying the price. Audit the gap between who you say you are and what you actually produce, and then close it, ruthlessly and repeatedly. Because results don't lie, and neither should you.
If you have a dream, a vision, a fantasy, whatever you want to call it, then you have a duty and a responsibility to yourself to make it come true.
How people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. You live in a dominant culture that is designed to destroy your sense of self and your belief in yourself, and you have to learn ways in which you can begin to connect with this power within yourself to handle where you are. The key is to be constantly in a perpetual process of discovering the truth of who you are and fighting constantly to look for ways in which you can escape the inner conversation.
Wherever you are right now, it's just temporary, young people. You ain't gonna get here without an effort. You just gotta try. I failed more times than anybody in here. I promise you I have.
You have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself, dude. You're cheating your family, you're cheating your employees, you're cheating your team, whatever you're a part of. It's bigger than you, man.
What is faith? What is fear? See, faith and fear, they're both made up. No one knows the future. They're both your imagination, whether your faith or fear. The only difference is fear is imagination undirected. So it's like weeds. Fear grows automatically. Faith is you decide to trust and keep moving forward, trusting life is happening for you, not to you. And if you keep going, it will open.
What do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them.
Treat yourself like you're someone responsible for help. That doesn't mean be good to yourself. It doesn't mean be nice to yourself. It doesn't mean give yourself an easy life. That isn't actually what you do to people if you care for them. You actually present them with something like an optimal challenge. First of all, assume that you're worth taking care of, and that it's your responsibility to do so, even if you don't like yourself very much. And lots of people don't, and they have their reasons. You have to abandon all that. Treat yourself like you're someone you're responsible for helping.
The problem that most of us have is we think that we're all alone. We think that we're the only ones going through all this stuff. I thought it. Your vision becomes very narrowed. And what happened to me was, all I did was I peeled back. And I was able to get on top of a mountaintop in my head. And when you're high on that mountain, you have a great vantage point. And I was able to look down at the world. And all of us are jacked up. Some of us hide it better than others, but we're all jacked up. And once you realize that, you gotta come out of your shell. You gotta accept who you are. You gotta accept the demons that life gave you. Whoever gave them to you, you gotta accept that. You gotta be able to look them in the mirror, look them in the eye, and say, okay, I'm gonna start fixing these things. But if you think that you're by yourself, the reality of your life becomes very, very horrible. And you're not. We are all jacked up. And once you realize that, man, it's like whatever. You don't even look at the crowd anymore. You look at your own race, you do your own race, you do your own thing, and you finally find out who you're supposed to be in this life.
Every visionary was initially called crazy before they were revealed. The very nature of disrupting your industry and disrupting a very bored and exhausted and hate-filled world means there will be people who will throw rocks at you. Take the rocks your haters throw at you and build that into monuments of mastery that are a testimony to humanity.
They print money, they don't print time. They don't print opportunities. You can lose money and get it back. You can't get time back. You can't get experiences back. Average people focused on money. The greats focus on time.
And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived it that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. That was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, you do that for 20 years, and what do you have?
See, when you begin to understand and acknowledge your fear, and you go forth anyhow, you go forth in a spirit and a knowing that there's a way that you can begin to handle this. There's a way out here somewhere, there's a solution. What it is that you're seeking, that you have the capacity to whatever comes up, to handle it, to face it. And rather than feeling powerless, you begin to feel powerful. But there are few people who have decided within themselves
I'm going to make it. Some people aren't waiting to be cut. Some people are moving on their own because they feel within themselves, I've got what it takes to make it. Most of us are only 1 to 10% away from greatness. But we think we're so far away from it that we never try. And once I started going down this journey, I started realizing that, and those percents started to add up. And before I knew it, my mind started hardening. I started passing so many different people that I thought were so far above me. And then before I knew it, man, I became uncommon amongst the uncommon.
Don't ever again, from this day forward, when you're learning something that's valuable, when you're making a decision of something you're gonna do, when you set a goal, in that moment, you gotta do something that commits you to follow through later on. Because if you act on it longer in state, and you commit to something, and you do something that commits you later on, you'll keep the momentum. Because if you keep changing, you'll find the way.
You only need 2 things in this life: clarity on your goals and an unwavering commitment to make them a reality. Show yourself that you're capable of doing something that's worth doing. Push your limits and improve fundamental aspects about who you are. Build something meaningful. Live a life that makes you proud. Most people never make any progress because they spend too much time learning and not enough time taking action. Show them you're different. Be so consistent that people think you're crazy, and watch how your life will change.
In order to achieve the future you aspire, you must be willing to walk away from the present that you desire. I cannot achieve the future I aspire to unless I'm willing to give up the things that I desire right now.
You are responsible for the things that happen in your life. You're the agent of what is good and what is bad. And when something bad happens to you, your natural tendency will be to look out in the world and blame this person, blame your mother, your father, your wife, your boss. But in fact, there's always a kernel of yourself that is to blame for what happened.
I may not understand the situation that I'm going through, but it's not my job to understand it. It's my job to embrace it. There is a big difference. I think a lot of people fall into the trap of always trying to understand what's happening to them instead of just embracing it, right? Because when you try to understand things that are not meant for you to understand, that's where a lot of unease comes from. That's where a lot of suffering comes from. But when you just shift into the mindset of, I'm going to embrace everything that comes into my life with an open mind, an open heart, a positive perspective, then you can really extract the lessons and the wisdom and the growth from that situation.
If you will change, everything will change for you.
Wow, I took that to heart.
And sure enough, the more I changed for the better, the more I changed from having a poor day to a good day, from lack of discipline to discipline. The more my life changed, my income changed, everything changed.
It's scary because it's unfamiliar, not because you're incapable. All the worry, all the nervousness, the concern, it means that you care in ways that you never have before. And if you care, then it's worth following through. Don't shy away from the challenge, don't play small. Lean into the growing pains and give yourself grace as you become someone who's done things that you've never done before.
Yes to the adventure. Like, life is an adventure. Say yes to the adventure. And the adventure might be, you know, I'm gonna take the path least traveled. The adventure might be, I'm gonna quit my safe job and go do this thing that I've been meaning to do and wanting to do, that I've been called to do, that I feel like I have a duty to do. Because life is a journey, it's an adventure, it's an experience. And if you wanna grow old and have stories to tell and experiences to share and wisdom to bestow onto others, it's not just a matter of age, because someone who gets old but has played it safe has no wisdom, has no stories. And so I say yes to the adventure.
My definition of happiness is really getting up every day, going from thing to thing to thing that you absolutely enjoy and get energy from. right? And that is easier said than done because it requires you to spend a lot of time understanding you, understanding the things that are taking energy from you, and then putting in the time and effort to evolve or change them so that they deliver energy rather than pull from you. But it's really, truly where you're going to find true happiness.
So many people say they want a big life, but very few people are willing to do the work that it actually takes to get there, to build the skill. I just became rather fascinated by that. Anybody want to know what is it? Yeah, it's this thing called fortitude. It's when you have courage to make the call that could change it all, to show up big, and resilience to make it happen. It's a next level of your emotional mastery.
Something shows up in your lifetime and you are ignoring it, you are avoiding it, you're trying to run away from it, and you face it. You face the anger, you face the fear, you face the jealousy, you face the pain, you face what you don't like, you face the fact that you are out of your comfort zone. Why? Because you know that once you have overcome it and find a solution for it, it's solved for this lifetime.
If you tell your friend tomorrow, 9 a.m., I'm gonna meet you at the gym, you're gonna be at the gym at 9 a.m. just because you don't wanna let him down. But if you tell yourself tomorrow at 9 a.m., I'm gonna be at the gym, you're not gonna show up, you're gonna be late. Why? Because it's you.
It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem.
Successful people are the opposite of what most people are. Most people, they believe they gotta know everything before they go. Successful people understand that they will learn along the way. So you have to realign your mindset. You have to be willing to step outside into an area you might not be an expert at. Take the initiative to start learning what it takes to be an expert at that. And then eventually you will make enough mistakes, you will do enough good things, you'll never become an expert, you'll never become a high earner, you'll never become one of these people that kicks ass by waiting to learn more information.
The great gatekeeper of your happiness is your mind. In being aware of what you are thinking at all times and how your mind reacts, in being able to have thoughts and then step back and think about, why did I have that thought? What is your mind doing? That is the next level of awareness that then now you begin to be aware of all aspects of your entire existence.
Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of you doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all of the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing. And I love this insight that you can dress it up however you want, the work just needs doing.
You have to sacrifice.
Greater the sacrifice, greater the reward. This is so true. So once you find yourself, you will find your creativity and you will find the true purpose. But first, you have to be willing to go through these sacrifices.
I'm gonna say this loud enough for the people in the back. You know when your life's gonna change? When you stop pressing rewind on the things that need to be deleted from your life. When you stop hanging on to the things that you know you need to let go of. Let me tell you this, moving on isn't always about knowing where you're going. It's about knowing where you're no longer staying and what you refuse to go back to.
You keep saying to yourself, I'm not ready to do that yet. If so, I want you to ask yourself, what would make you feel ready? Is there actually something specific that would help you to feel more prepared to do the thing that you need to do? Or are you waiting for something that's impossible? Are you waiting to be sure that you'll never make a mistake, that everyone will like what you do, that you won't experience uncomfortable emotions? So you're waiting for something that's impossible. I want you to ask yourself, how long am I willing to wait before I accept that this will never happen, and then I'm gonna do it anyways?
No matter how hard you try, you're not going to be liked by everyone. So just be you. If they like you, great. If they don't, even better. Embrace your uniqueness. It's your greatest strength. Because the only person you need to be in order to live your best life is yourself. And that's it.
How happy are you? Well, it's the quality of life minus envy. That's how happy you are. And it's easy to look at everyone else and how they're doing and not take pleasure in what you have. You can't have an easy life in a great character. It's not the pursuit of happiness. It's the happiness of the pursuit, the journey or the destination. It's who you become on the journey.
Like, we're all gonna go through a transitional period at one point or another in our lives, right? But the word that comes to mind when I hear transition is uncertainty, right? Uncertainty, transition, uncertainty. Faith functions best in moments of uncertainty, right? Faith functions best in moments of uncertainty.
Official, we are already halfway through 2024, and I know it feels like, but nonetheless, the question you have to ask yourself is, what have you accomplished so far? Have you made any progress towards the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year? Do you even remember them? Here's a cold hard truth. If you can't point out at least 3 concrete actions you've taken to accomplish your goals in 2024, I'm sorry to tell you, but you've most likely wasted the first 6 months of the year.
I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday I'm gonna get a different job. Someday I'm gonna change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. You know, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a 4 at a time.
It's yours. It's yours to drive. Get up in the morning, write down what you're gonna do in a day. Be happy on your way to your job, even if you don't like it. You gotta be happy on your way to happy. Don't think you're gonna get there and be happy. You carry yourself with you.
Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not gonna be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans.
85 to 90% of life is just showing up. Show up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen.
You have to make mistakes. You've been there, you feel it, you understand what it is, and then you have that time to adjust. That's why losing in life is so important. Whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game, loss, those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong, and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better.
Are born into greatness, and all too often we get resigned into mediocrity because of the toxic information around us. And maybe it's the people around us, and maybe it's the information that we consume. Feeding your fire is the process and the habit of consistently only allowing the most useful information into your orbit. Feeding your fire is a protection mechanism or an idea, which is you can't inspire people if you yourself are de-inspired. Feeding your fire is all about doing whatever it takes on a daily basis, because your days are your life in miniature. And as you live each day, so you handcraft your life.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
A few simple disciplines practiced every day.
Eliminate the errors and replace it with disciplines practiced. I'm telling you, you can start this process of life change immediately. After today, you don't ever have to be the same again, only by choice.
There's always good reasons for not doing what you should. That's for sure. The reasons pile up day after day to not do what you should, especially because you're aiming at things in the future. You can put them off indefinitely, right? Because of the demands of the day. When you leave somewhere terrible, do not look back. There's no nostalgia. That's the letting the dead parts of yourself go. And then if you're going to follow the good, there's no excuse not to do it. And it means no excuse whatsoever, under any circumstances. And then it's taken even farther with regards to familiar relationships. It is, you can't even let them stand in your way. And I think that's all true. Like, there's no excuse whatsoever for not getting at what it is that you should be doing.
What permission do you need? And I'm here to give you that permission. I'm here to tell you to give yourself that permission. I'm here to tell you to take the pen back and start rewriting that story. So what if you were beaten? So what if you were mentally and emotionally abused? Those are all superpowers now, because you are the type of person that went through that and came out the other side a stronger person. You have more resiliency, you are more resourceful than people that have not gone and suffered through adversity and abuse. That's the reality. We are more resilient. We are more emotionally strong, mentally tough, and we can deal with so much. But we have to first let go of the mental crippling crutch that we carry, which is this victim mindhood.
I'm gonna tell you when your life's gonna change. When you truly get fed up and you say enough is enough. When you stop going back to the things that broke you. When you stop giving people titles in your life they don't deserve. When you stop chasing after people that don't want to be in your life. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Stop holding on to things that you need to let go of.
I suggest to you that if you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy, work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. Continue to move, stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Expect things to get better for you, because they are. See, life is cyclic. You're not, whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass. Not to stay, just to pass. It's just going through. The biggest challenge is to know what's happening. This is a part of this thing we call life. This too shall pass. And maintaining perspective, putting it in perspective.
Most people are so afraid to fail that they come up with this whole story that it's worse than it is. And of course, when you make it worse than it is, it overwhelms you, and now you won't begin. I've tried, people say, I've tried everything. If you tried everything, you'd have what you want.
It's about facing your fears. It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right for yourself and for other people.
A victim consciousness is when we allow something in our outer environment to control the way we feel and think. Something in my outer environment, some person or some condition, is controlling the way I think and feel. Now, that's not the truth. That's just a response, right? So anything that controls our thoughts and feelings causes us to be victim to those things. And the stronger the emotion we feel to some circumstance in our life, the more we pay attention to it. And where we place our attention is where we place our energy. So we're giving our life force, we're giving our power away to that circumstance.
Responsibility, that's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load, then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look at, you're useless, easily hurt, easily killed. Why should you have any self-respect? pick something up and carry it. Make it heavy enough so that you can think, useless as I am, at least I could move that from there to there.
The aha moment is the door that opens. But your new life does not begin unless you can step through the door. Most people, when you have an aha moment and the door to your new life opens up, instead of going, I got this, let's go, and high-fiving yourself to step forward, most of us go, I don't know if I'm worth it. I don't know if right now is the right time to do this. I don't think I'm good enough. I failed so many times I can't go through that door. That there is somewhere in your life that you know what you want. You can feel it pulling you. And you are actively arguing against it. You're bringing yourself down. You're beating yourself out.
See, when it's hard, there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's just something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. People know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
That those minutes and those hours, they turn into weeks and months and years, and holding the line in those critical minutes will put you in an infinitely better place, physically and mentally, if you maintain the discipline. So work through the weakness, fight through the temptation, hold the line. Hold the line, maintain the discipline. It is not easy, but it is worth it. Because, yes, because discipline equals freedom.
Apparently, the stress and the worries and the fear, it arises somewhere. And that somewhere is individually always inside oneself. And this is that paradox part sometimes about this world, that you know when you are sad, the sadness sits inside of you. When you worry about something, it's your worry. You worry. But nevertheless, we try to fix this issue. We try to look for the solution. Yeah, not inside of you. We try to find it out there.
If you are completely obsessed and totally focused, if you're taking massive action and getting better and better at executing, there's only one more thing you need to get whatever you want, and that's grace. Some call it luck, some call it grace. You might call it God, but there's no question in my life that grace is there. It's those things that show up to guide you when you've done the first two steps and your intent is something larger than just yourself.
And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe. That I can do what I want to do. It's possible I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible. Regardless of where I am, that things can get better for me. It's possible.
What you say to yourself matters. And we understand that from a common sense perspective. But somewhere along the line, we have all stopped saying, you're gonna make it, you got this. And we've started saying, you're a piece of shit, you're not good enough, why even bother? And when you start your day by saying, I look terrible, I screwed up again yesterday, I hate my life, that's not gonna motivate you to change it. And so your sense of feeling like the effort is worth it begins and ends with how encouraging, supportive, and kind you are to yourself.
We're hypnotized or conditioned into believing we need a reason for gratitude or joy. And until I get that, I'm this. If you have the thought of your future and you feel the lack that it's not there, then you're back to the victim, right? But if you can have the thought, and the thought actually produces, just like fear, the thought of something terrible happening in your life creates the feeling of fear, the thought of something wonderful in your life creating the feeling of gratitude. Then when you think about your future, you begin to emotionally condition your body into that future. Now here's the payoff. Thoughts are the electrical charge in the quantum field, and feelings are the magnetic charge in the quantum field. And how you think and how you feel broadcasts information and energy into the field. The question is, what are you broadcasting every single day?
People are so not present. They're not communicating clearly. They're making mistakes. They're not pursuing mastery. It's costing so much energy. It's like they will tell you, like, I'm not paid enough, I'm not getting a lot from the world, I'm not very successful, no one applauds me, I don't have a nice home, I don't have a nice whatever. But they're not looking in the mirror, and I call it APR, absolute personal responsibility. Stop lying to yourself. Take a good hard look at your mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. You're creating it.
And that is what the law of thinking is. When you learn how it works, miracles happen. What you think and what you believe is what will come true for you. Your thoughts create your life. It's that simple. And when we can get that, we can make enormous changes.
You see, you are what you are and where you are because of what's gone into your mind. You can change what you are, you can change where you are by changing what goes into your mind. 98% of the people in our Western civilization have a picture of themselves which is so narrow and so shallow that it literally bears no resemblance to the real person who is there. So many people have been told so many times what they cannot do that they have no idea what they can do. They have no idea what they want in life because they have no idea what is available to them. The picture they have of themselves will not permit themselves to see some of the magnificent things that are available.
I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something.
I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose.
To find your way in life is not an external search, it's an internal search. Because God equipped you the moment He gave birth to you. God equipped you at birth with what you needed. He gave all of you a gift, all of you. Every last one of you, you're gifted. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. All of you sitting in here were given a gift at birth. He put it inside you. You ain't got to look under the ocean. It ain't on a mountain. It ain't under no rocks. He gave you a gift. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. That's the thing you should pursue. The scripture says your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of important men. That's what your gift will do for you.
There's a purpose to your pain. There's a reason why you have had to endure. You may not see it now, you may not feel it right now, but there is a purpose in our pain. Sometimes the reason why we've been given these problems, these painful moments, is because there was a preparation that is needed. We must go through the healing. We must go through the revealing that all these problems, all these trials, all of this pain has caused you so that you can become an elevated version of you.
If you break, the fight isn't over. In fact, if you break, the fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, as you rise above what you were, and as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
If you look deep in your heart, your joy, the more joy you can hold, comes from the amount of sorrow that has been your burden. And so the ego and our scared selves judge tragedy, or maybe it's not tragedy, maybe it's adversity, as bad, and let us rush away from it. Do not run away from your suffering. Befriend it, appreciate it, embrace it, for there your joy lives. And for there your joy lies. And that's why the greatest amongst us have been hurt the most.
Anyone who's successful has failed much more than you know. Like, you look at somebody who's an unbelievable athlete, somebody who's an unbelievable entertainer, speaker, communicator, artist. They didn't just show up that way. They are being rewarded in public for what you practice in private consistently. We're all rewarded in public for the things that we consistently practice and refine in private. And so you see that person, you think they're a genius, but if you watch, they've been failing more than anybody else. They just failed more often, so they learn quicker.
Do the interior work required to get to a level where the negative opinions and the chattering voices of the cynics do not knock you off your ambition. They do not knock you off your vision. They do not deplete your game. You see, that's the interior capability and capacity that's required from someone who wants to really be a history maker. You have to be so strong in your own skin that when people dismiss your ideas, or they don't understand it, or they laugh at you, you simply keep on going.
See, there's a purpose in your pain. Sometimes you can go through life and you can wonder why. Why do I have to endure? Why did I have to go through this? Why was I shortchanged in the physical department? Why was I shortchanged in the financial? But then there was a hunger that was also placed there as well, at the belly of you, in the core of you.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great.
There's something you want to do, and I believe that all of us were born with a purpose, that all of us have something that we are supposed to do, that all of us have some goodness within us, and that goodness gives us a responsibility to manifest our greatness. And when you know that, you can feel it in your guts, and you know that you're deliberately operating below your potential, you've gotten comfortable. You stop expanding, you stop stretching, you stop challenging yourself. Let me share something else with you. Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, but it's necessary.
But there is something beyond your doubt that is greater, and it's called faith. It's the faith that you can rebound from this. It's the faith that you can overcome it. It's the faith that you can change lives. You are that unique. There are experiences that you are going through that don't make sense now. But the day is going to come where you'll look back over your life. You'll look back over 10 years. You'll look back over 5 years, a year from now, and say, it was worth it all. Because the payoff that you're going to get from it is that you realize that the purpose in your pain was so that you can change.
Massive action is the cure-all. Massive action is the cure-all. If you're having a difficult time with something, your relationship isn't where you want it to be, your finances are not where you want to be, your body's not where you want to be, your business is not where you want to be, you need to take massive action. And if that doesn't work, try something else. If that doesn't work, try something else. Keep going with massive action and you will find the way, because it will give you momentum.
Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And do not worry that your life is turning upside down and not going the way you want it to. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one that's to come?
The quality of self-discipline is the quality that will make you a big success. It's the ability to force yourself to do what you know you should do. And here is the wonderful discovery. This persistence is self-discipline in action. Every time you persist, you build your self-discipline. Every time you practice self-discipline, you build your ability to persist. And the two of them are tied into your self-esteem. So the more you persist, the more you like yourself. And the more you like yourself, the more discipline you have. And the more discipline you have in practice, the more you like yourself. As a result, the more you persist. And eventually you get under an upward spiral where you become absolutely unstoppable. You reach the point where you know you can achieve the goal and nothing in the world can stop you. And every step that you take forward makes you stronger and stronger and stronger, until finally people say, I know one thing about him, I know one thing about her. You cannot stop him or her. Once they decided they want something, they will not stop until they get it. And when you develop that quality, there will be nothing that is impossible to you.
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, I can tell you this is not a good move. Just get up. Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. And you may be successful, and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
You have to discipline yourself. Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans.
Sometimes you just need to admit to yourself that you have no idea who you are or what you're doing. Everything is changing all the time. It's normal to have weeks where you feel lost, months where you don't recognize yourself, and years that leave you with more questions than answers. Don't see it as a step backwards. Humble yourself, because that's life's way of redirecting you, letting you know that you have the chance to find yourself again. Seize the opportunity.
All of us, nobody's perfect. We failed too many times. We have so many uncertainty in our life that we have to be capable when we are down to stand up. It's part of the journey, it's part of the process, it's part of our education. In my case, I learn the most when I'm down. And it's good that these certain moments happen, because when you are in the top of the wave, you don't see under what's going on. It's good to have problems. It's the only way that you can improve.
How do you overcome the fear of failure when trying something new? By far the easiest thing I found to deal with this is to think of every single thing in life as an experiment. It's just an experiment, so everything in life is an experiment. And therefore failure isn't really failure. Failure is just another data point.
Don't let complaining conquer your life. See if you can't drive it into a small corner. That's the season of summer. Nourish your values like a mother and fight your enemies like a father. Even if you have to fight the enemies that are within yourself. Make this note. Don't become a victim of yourself. It's possible to become a victim of tragedy. It's possible to become a victim of gossip. It's possible to become a victim of the things that happen out there, but here's the most important thing. Don't become a victim of yourself. Forget the thief in the alley that's after your purse. What about the thief in your mind that's after your promise?
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're gonna give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that were successful loved what they did so they could persevere, when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. So you gotta love it, you gotta have passion.
You have to become the kind of person that can push through the hard times. Most people can't do that.
No matter how long it takes, keep going. No matter how much it hurts, keep going. See, you was placed on this earth for a reason. You weren't meant to be average, you were meant to excel. You understand, this grind is meant to make you who you're supposed to be, a dog. A little grind ain't never hurt nobody. Stop being soft, let's embrace it.
Most people cannot push through the challenging, the draining, the frustrating times that make everybody else quit. So you have to build yourself into someone who has the discipline, the fortitude, the grit, the perseverance to push through the hard times, to become someone who is literally incapable of quitting.
You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no, we working out now. No more alcohol, not right now. No, I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something.
I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. Because when you're trying to do something that's bigger than you, whatever you are, you didn't fail with them. That was your first attempt. We give so much power to words. I don't. I take the power right away. I didn't fail.
People will tell you things based on their experience, but they don't know anything because everything is subjective. They don't know who you are or what you've been through. They tell you they tried for their dreams, but it didn't work out, so they gave up. And they discourage you to chase yours. But you need to do that for yourself, because nobody knows what will happen. And even if it doesn't work out, there's still something to be learned in the process.
If you want to give up, you can give up. This is your choice. You can do whatever you want. Your time's gonna come, but you cannot give up.
See, you can do anything. You can get up any hour, read any book, take any class, make any change, develop any skill, do any discipline. I mean, you can do it all. When this how and the why, or when the why starts to grow, the how gets simple.
Life is an ocean of opportunities. But sometimes we find ourselves anchored to the safety of the shore, petrified to venture into the unknown. But it's in that unknown where you find true freedom. So how do you let go of the safety that's keeping you from the life of your dreams? You burn the ships.
Ultimate mindset says that I will do the work when I'm tired. I will do the work even if I'm sick. I will do the work even if I didn't sleep well. I will do the work even if I don't feel like it. I will do the work if it's cold outside. I will do the work if it's too hot, because I am driven by purpose.
and duty while others are driven by pleasures and desire. And it is that fork in the road that separates the winners from the losers in life.
I want y'all to remember something. When a winner and a loser first start something, they both got the same goal. Like, I'm gonna say it again, when a winner and a loser first start something, they both got the exact same goal. When something first starts, but somewhere in the midst of the journey and the process, somebody looks at the outcome and somebody focuses on the strategies and the processes that it takes in order to drive the outcome.
Whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. Go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
When we burn the ships in our life, we also eliminate the option of retreat. We commit fully to our goals and dreams, no matter how scary they seem. When you burn your ships, you tap into a wellspring of inner strength and resilience you never knew you had. You look around and you see no other option but success.
You gotta get to a point where you lock in, God. You are locked into the process. If you don't see nothing, if you don't see no results, you don't give up and you don't give in because you're not doing it for the goal. You're doing it because you are in love with the process.
Consistency of work. Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better, right? And you do that over a period of time. Not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then you can get to where you want to go.
Nothing in life is easy. Nothing is going to be given to us. Nothing is going to stand on its own accord without proper preparation. Resilience in your life is the proper preparation. And whether you want to think about it or not, if you were to reflect on those times in your life where things are seemingly falling down around you, everything was hard, everything was a struggle, when you got out of that and you look back from where you came from, you knew that it was in those spaces that shaped you, that allowed you to become the person that you are now. And everything cycles in life. Everything is going to be up and a down, a light and a dark, hot and cold. That opposition in all things is necessary. But it's those of us who have resilience, it's those of us who will get up every time. Even when you fall down, flat on your face, it hurts, you're cut, you're bleeding, and we still get up.
It's not what you're capable of, it's what you're willing to do. I know plenty of people that are capable. I know fewer people that are willing. Will is a powerful thing. Ask yourself, what are you willing to do?
Life is not a series of uninterrupted successes and joyful moments. Instead, life is marked by challenges, setbacks, and moments of incredibly hard defeats. I mean defeats as in failures. During these times of darkness and despair, our true character can be forged and our inner true strength can be revealed. Will you surrender to despair, or will you rise, phoenix-like, from the ashes of your circumstances?
How can you become the person that you wish to be unless you live the life that you wish not to live? How can you be brave unless you felt fear? How can you be strong whilst your heart's weak?
And guess what? It's going to be the hardest thing you ever did. Along the way, you're going to lose all your fucking friends. You're going to struggle. You're going to make mistakes. There's going to be multiple fucking days where you don't think that you're going to make it. And those days sometimes last for months. Nobody's going to relate to you. No one's going to understand why you're doing it. And I'm going to tell you this. They might laugh at you now. Everybody laughed at me back in the day. Guess who's laughing now? Me.
Remember that. Relish in it. Get it all over you. Reflect in these moments. Because the trials are what make you great. The trials are what forge you into tempered steel that is unbreakable and unbendable. It's these moments. Embrace them.
Until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you would never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, only then does it start to break down tactically how we can do this. Until then, you're gonna always lose.
You can do a work for your entire life, but is the work that you do worth your life? It is the question that you must put on the scale. If I stay here, if I continue to do the same thing year after year, week after week, month after month for the rest of my life, is this qualified as living? Or am I walking through life, sleep, never awake enough to see what I could have been or what I could have done?
You know when your life is gonna change? When you stop being so loyal to the wrong things. Your loyalty has become your slavery. You've allowed your good heart to keep you in situations that's breaking your heart. You're loyal to people that will never support you. You're loyal to people that will never be happy for you. You're loyal to people that could care less about you. You're loyal to people that aren't loyal to you. Stop being so loyal to the things that are ruining your life.
Our lives that we're living right now are a gift.
And our way of life that we enjoy, it is also a gift. It's a blessing and it's a luxury.
What changes your life is not learning more. What changes your life is making decisions and using your personal power and taking action. That's what the definition of power is. Look it up in the dictionary. Power, the ability to act.
Achieving a goal for the sake of vainglory and sheer accomplishment will bring satisfaction, but that satisfaction will prove to be short-lived. Achieving goals that have deep meaning to us will bring us far more happiness. When we set goals that have meaning outside of our own selfish ends, we discover it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. All right, I'm not real smart. I have no courage. I have no self-esteem. I have no nothing. Nothing. That's my starting point. Now we can move from there. Tell myself I'm strong, I have courage, I'm smart. And all these are lies. You continuously push that starting point backwards. So that starting point is the truth. The no bullshit truth that only you can tell yourself. So it's the starting point. The truth's the starting point.
The road to someday leads to a town of nowhere. It's a place you don't want to end up in. So you got to get yourself to take action. How do you do that? You decide. Make a decision right now you're not willing to settle for anything less than you can be. That you're not willing to live the way you're living right now, no matter how good it may seem, that you're going to push yourself to the next level. Demanding more from yourself than anybody else could possibly expect is true power. And all it takes is deciding. Remember, the word decision in its original Latin root means to cut off from. When you decide, you cut off from any other possibility.
People getting ready to go to jobs that they don't like. Jobs that are making them sick. You see, when you're not pursuing your goal, you are literally committing spiritual suicide. When you have some goal out here that you're stretching for and reaching for that takes you out of your comfort zone, you'll find out some talents and abilities you have that you didn't know you had. So if you want to make this your decade, you've got to decide to be bold. So you got to be bold in life. Most people go through life trying to creep. No, no, no. Trying to be casual about it. No, no, no. You go through life being casual, you'll end up a casualty. You've got to be bold in life. You've got to take life on.
The biggest trap that keeps people from taking action is their fear. Their fear of failure, their fear of success, their fear of rejection, their fear of pain, their fear of the unknown. The only way to deal with fear is face it. Look it eye to eye and take action in spite of it.
Especially nowadays in this society, we like to surround ourselves. It makes us feel so good. Those people who say it's okay.
it's okay. It's not okay. It isn't okay, man. And we love to feel wanted and loved. Trust me, that's all important. It is. But you have to have the truth from people. Hey, you're not working your butt off hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. We all think we're trying hard, but what are you gauging that off of?
Am I making an emotional decision? I mean, what a smart little thing to check on. And if you check on it, you're going to realize that that is a bad move. People make emotional decisions all the time. And by the way, they almost never turn out good. Am I mad? Am I frustrated? Am I vengeful? Am I fearful? Am I guilty? Guilt is an emotion that'll make you do something that you know you shouldn't do. Fear is an emotion that'll make you do something that you shouldn't do. Frustration. I'm getting frustrated. You know what? Just go ahead and do it, right? These are horrible things.
See, when you strengthen the things that you once make you weak, you make it so that the enemy that comes up against you can't keep beating you the same way. Don't keep repeating the same mistakes, thinking that somehow you'll get a different result. You're not insane. You must have an insane dream, but you must not go insane. You must dream so big that no one else can see it coming, not even the original version of you. But you were going to evolve.
If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving.
There's a greater you that was waiting to meet you. Make this life count.